Hello. For my servant leadership project, I chose to link on to an existing club within our school. That club is called the Four Club, and it stands for the Friends of Rachel. And the club is an offshoot of Rachel's Challenge, and we chose to do a locker campaign to spread kindness to students in need within our school. Rachel's Challenge originally was based off of Rachel Scott, who was the first victim of the Columbine school shooting in Columbine, Colorado. When her parents were looking through many of her letters and some of the artifacts left back from her after she had died, they found many inspiring words in school assignments and in journals and things like that. And one of them included her challenge to everyone to start a chain reaction of kindness. During the Rachel's Challenge presentation, many of these schools involved in the challenge take on this challenge by establishing a four club, the Friends of Rachel. One of the first things many of the schools do, which is what our school did as well, was to sign a banner. Our school ended up being a little bit different. Our school is Pioneer Trail in Olathe, Kansas, and we didn't just simply sign banners. We actually made the Facebook page of Rachel's Challenge by placing all of our students' pictures on there, and then the signatures occurred. This was a unique for Rachel's Challenge as well for any four club that was out there. From there, we realized that our students really wanted to expand, and that the four club could do a lot more within our school. So our four club officially formed. Mr. Mark Meyer ends up being the original sponsor of the club, and they've started doing many projects starting in the fall of 2012. But in Mr. Meyer's own words, he had said that the club had grown stagnant. So Mr. Meyer and I got together and we said, let's fix this. Let's come up with this new way of doing things at Pioneer Trail, and let's do something unique. And that would be a locker campaign. Now, the project objectives were pretty simple, and that was we wanted to instill leadership skills of kindness within our students. We wanted them to actually be the ones that go out, care for one another, and address their school and make it a positive place. But we also wanted to reinvigorate the existing four club and have those students that were already invested in the four club continue on and do these and lead through kindness within our school. So our original plan was Mr. Meyer and I were going to get together and talk several times and have students write a couple of notes of encouragement for their fellow students in need. The students were the ones that were going to provide the names from students through the grapevine of maybe having trouble or struggling or feeling a little bit left out, sitting alone in lunch and things like that. And it was just going to, our students were simply just going to write out letters of encouragement to them and show that they had support. However, this is not actually what happened. In fact, our first week back from spring break, we found out that each one of the days that was listed for our Panther time, which is our homeroom time, was designated for a certain activity. And so we were thinking the next week would be fine. Then we found out that it was scheduled that Panther time was going to be totally canceled altogether with state assessments. Now, the state assessments weren't going to affect the schedule originally, and with that time being taken away, we said we had to do something else, and we chose to meet at 7:30 in the morning before school. The 10-minute bell rings at 7:40, and school actually starts at 7:50. That would leave us 10 to 15 minutes of time before school to meet with students. It was a bump in the road, but we had to adjust. So the plan marched on. Students started providing names. We got together and had an original meeting, and we realized that the students themselves were not the only one that recognized the need. Mr. Meyer was known for sending out emails to the staff with quotes of kindness, but in this particular email, he actually not only sent a quote of kindness, but he also stated what he and I were doing for the Four Club and that was go ahead and get us some names of some students if there's anything that we can do to help them if they need encouragement. And just a simple name would be fine, and our 4 Club would take care of it. Several things came about of this. The first was the amount of excitement on the very first day. The 4 Club has kind of an ebb and flow with the number of students that show up. It's fluid based on activities within the school, students' individual schedules, and so on. Well, we had 25 students show up for our first meeting before school. The next day, the first meeting was on a Tuesday, and the next day on the Thursday, we had 20 students. Some of them were different, meaning the typical ebb and flow of the 4 Club was happening, but there was a lot of excitement because they hadn't done anything for quite some time and they wanted to get back involved. This is where kids and ideas started coming out in these first 2 meetings of what can we do to help these students in need. We can't lie, donuts never hurt. We brought them in after the first 2 meetings, and it kept kids coming back. But then the unforeseen awesomeness came out of our students. The original plan was simply to meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, have the kids come together, come up with some names, come up with some posters, come up with some letters. What ended up happening was our original meeting times of Tuesdays and Thursdays, kids showed up Wednesday, and then the Friday, and then the following Monday before our next Tuesday meeting. And they just started showing up and continuing on what we were hoping for, and that was the spreading of kindness. So the students started getting to work. We identified 6 particular students that were in need, and they designed this posters. They designed little care bags with candy and some other things in them, and they wrote really caring letters. They all signed as the 4 Club, and they chose all to put their names on the letters as well, knowing that they had somebody within the school that they could go to if there was a problem, that they could come to and talk with, sit with at lunch, say hi in the morning, things like that. The projects ended up pretty simple, but amazingly impactful. Mr. Meyer and I ended up choosing to finish the job for him. That was, we put them anonymously in the lockers. The students would just simply open up their locker, see the poster, see their care bag, not really know what was going on, and it was a happy surprise for them. The idea was, again, we wanted to keep the project discreet. We didn't want to bring a whole bunch of attention to them. Everything was a secret, and the 4 Club members knew that. The lockers ended up turning out fantastic, and the students put a lot of effort into them with the care packages, the letters, and the posters. Overall, the project was an enormous success. Both objectives were met. The students were the ones getting involved with the leadership and the kindness aspects of it, and it completely rejuvenated the role of the 4 Club at our school. Many more names have been given since the club last met, and we've decided that we're going to continue it. There's such a need within our school. We thought this would be a really cool opportunity for our students to finish out this year on a kind and caring manner, and to keep this motivation of kindness going through next year. The difference here is Mr. Meyer is not going to be the sponsor next year. We have a new sponsor. However, Mr. Meyer and I have both volunteered and said with any projects we would help out for next year because of the success of this program. This is something that has made a huge impact within our school, the 4 Club overall, and just within this one project has reinvigorated the campaign of kindness that Pioneer Trail wants to show. I appreciate your time, and thanks for listening.